What is up, YouTube? Live via satellite here, and today we are talking Kingdom. And in particular, guys, we are going to be talking about the 3 most memorable panels of 2017. But before we get to that, guys, yes, we've hit a new milestone, 200-man commander. I just want to thank all of you guys who subscribed to me. And the last time we talked on a 100 subscriber special, I let you guys know basically how I started this YouTube channel. So I wanted to kind of stick with that same type of tradition and this time give you guys a story about how I got into Kingdom. Not too long ago, there was a time where I was an anime-only watcher. I know. But one of the animes I was into at that time was Naruto. And Naruto was actually my gateway drug into the YouTube anime community. And a lot of these reviewers used to always review the anime, but they would also review the manga. And what I started to notice was that the manga was ahead of the anime. And since I was really into the stories and I wanted to know what happened next, I decided, why not read the manga so I can know what's gonna happen? And it was pretty cool because you were able to get almost like a year ahead basically over the anime. And so at that time I was pretty much just into the Naruto stuff. But a lot of the reviewers who reviewed Naruto also reviewed a series called One Piece. And I could never get into One Piece. I just couldn't do it. Nothing about One Piece intrigued me. And then one day I watched this Sawyer 7-Mage video about One Piece. And since he was like my go-to guy for Naruto reviews at the time, I trusted his words and I said, let me give this One Piece another shot. And once I got to Arlong Park, where Nami was like stabbing herself in her arm and Luffy gives her the straw hat. And then we have Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, and Usopp walking to confront Arlong. I mean, that's the point I was all in with One Piece. And as time went on, I found myself being more of a One Piece fan than I was a Naruto fan. But I still enjoyed both. And it was awesome because having a couple manga you read, when one went on break, you at least still had the other one you could read. But then there came a time when there was no more Naruto and there was only One Piece. So all I had left to read was One Piece. And at that point I had a lot of different YouTubers I watched. And I remember watching a lot of videos. And at the time I think it was like Zoro Fanboy, King of Lightning, and Jurishe. And they kept talking a lot about this Kanki guy. I didn't know what he did. I didn't know what it was about, but just Kanki and Kingdom, Kanki. You just kept hearing Kanki all over the place. And of course, now I know what all the hype was about the Kanki situation. But I remember one week I was on a vacation from work and I was reading One Piece. And I cannot remember what chapter it was or when it was, but I remember getting to the end of the chapter and you got the words of death that One Piece would be on break next week. And of course I was pissed off like I always was when One Piece went on break. But since I knew I would have absolutely nothing to read for the next 2 weeks, I decided to pick up this Kingdom thing that everybody had been hyping up so much recently. And the next thing I know, I was engrossed. I could not put this thing down. I was like binge reading it. I was reading it hours and hours at a time, to the point that I was actually falling asleep with the laptop in my hands frequently. But that was basically how I got into Kingdom. It really just boiled down to One Piece going on break one week. And I'm like so thankful that I found it. I mean, it's definitely one of the best, if not the best manga I've ever read. From beginning to end, it was just so good. Like, the thing about Kingdom that I think makes it so good is just that it's so consistent. Like, there aren't many stories or many manga or anime out there where it's just always good all the time. But to me, Kingdom is like that rare exception where it's pretty much been good since chapter 1. But yeah, that was my little story about how I got into Kingdom. And again, I just want to thank everybody who subscribes to me and supports the channel, leaves comments and things like that. It's been a lot of fun, man. I cannot lie. I definitely try to keep you guys entertained. And even though I'm like 99.9% of the time very late, you guys always show up to the videos and still, you know, show love. And I really appreciate that. And guess what? In 2018, nothing's gonna change. I'm just kidding. I'll try to be better. I will. But enough of the shenanigans, guys. Let's jump into the top 3 panels of 2017. And the reason I chose 3, guys, was because I wanted it to be 3 easy, simple ones that couldn't be debated. I wanted these to be like the 10 Commandments. I wanted them to be etched in stone. And I think these 3 are 3 that most people will agree with. And of course, there's a 4th, but since it's Heki, I decided I'd leave that one be. I didn't want to go into 2018 bashing Heki. In 2018, I'm going to change it up. One of my New Year's resolutions is to take it easy on Heki this year. I want to see things through the eyes of a Heki fan.
You smell that?
Huh?
Smells like boy. bullshit.
And whenever I think of somebody who is a fan of Heki, I just see them as someone who would enjoy watching a layup in a fast break as opposed to like a slam dunk, or seeing somebody hit a bunt as opposed to a home run. Just like the basics, you know, they like the basics. They're into the fundamentals. But getting back into it, at number 3, guys, we have Sensuiju's pointer finger. If I could give out MVP awards to the Zal Generals, Sensuiju would definitely probably get MVP for 2017. I mean, he put in a lot of work. Even when you go back to the earlier moments in the arc, when he was actually the one who discovered Osun's plans about the fake food supplies. And even more recently, when he burned half of the food supply for the Heki army. I mean, when you think about it, Sensuiju has been putting in all types of work. But nothing was better than when Gyotama was clashing with Kosen Ryu. And in mid-battle, Sensuiju just rolls up with mountain men in tow, snapping his fingers to execute him, and then pointing at Gyotama as to signify, "You're next." I think this is like one of the most memorable panels of 2017. It really set the tone for what type of character this Sensuiju was. It just shows you how ruthless of a character he's going to be, and I'm really excited to see what else we get to learn about him in 2018, because I think he's the only Zal General that we really haven't gotten a good backstory for yet, but I'm sure we'll find out much more about him in 2018. At number 2, guys, we have Assassin Roboku. I think this was like the most surprising thing to happen in 2017 when we had Roboku taking care of the dirty work himself. I don't think anybody expected Roboku to take a small detachment himself from the safety of his own HQ and take out Manga, who was Osun's left-hand man. And what I think makes this panel so memorable is that it was so unexpected. The only reason you expected anything to happen at all was because in the chapter prior, they said that the greatest shock of the first day was drawing near. So you knew something was going to happen, but you really didn't know what to expect. Because at that time, Hara was trying to make us think like Kishi was really in danger. I mean, he's being closed in on from every direction. So it was a big shock to see Roboku just casually strolling in, sword drawn, ready to take out Mako. And I'm sure if you guys go and check out all the live reactions for that particular chapter, you'll see just how unexpected this was. Which is why I think it has to have this spot at number 2. And actually number 1 and number 2 could easily be flip-flopped. I mean, I would call them 1A and 1B. But at number 1, the most memorable panel of 2017 for me was Osun thinking on the spot. This was one of the most memorable panels to me because it was just unbelievable. Like, I could not believe what I was seeing when I first read this chapter. I mean, to see Osun taking a look at the city of Gyo and realizing that it was perfect, and knowing that there was no way that this city would fall to an attack, and deciding right then and there that he was going to figure something out, decides he's going to lay out this map and on the spot come up with a new strategy. Because at the moment, Shohiken's plans that they have spent months and months developing were useless because the city of Retsubi was basically a trap. So this whole campaign was dependent upon what Osun could come up with. And when he decided to just sit there and come up with a plan on the spot, it was just epic. Because not soon after, some Zal soldiers patrolling the area discover what they're up to. And Osun turns to Akko and asks him, is it going to be a problem? And Akko says, well, they outnumber us 2-1, but take as long as you need, my lord. And you just see Osun studying the map with just body parts and just all this fighting going on all around him. He trusted his men to be able to handle that situation. And what makes this panel even more impactful is later when we see what Osun's new plan was, which was basically to attack all the other cities around that area and have all the refugees funnel into Gyo and basically try and starve the city out. Like, the panel holds even more significance because you're thinking, wow, he came up with all of this in that instant, which just makes it amazing and which makes it the most memorable panel of 2017, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you guys thought about this list. Let me know what you guys think the most memorable panels of 2017 were in the comment section below. But anyway, guys, that about does it for this video, guys. Hope you guys have a happy new year and hope to see all you guys in 2018. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to share, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.